When you were in high school and you did some sports, did any of you do sports in high school? Or maybe debate team or anything where you had to compete when you were younger? How did you get ready for battle? What'd you do? You practiced? Okay. Like the night before, you're super nervous or you're getting ready to go, you're waiting for your turn to come up. What did you do? You put your headphones in. What'd you listen to? Yeah, you listened to Eye of the Tiger, right? Right? Why can't I hear it? Is it coming? I thought I had it on there, but it's okay. Anything you do it for me again. Anything you say sounds cool when Eye of the Tiger is playing. You get so excited, right? Okay, so this song, who actually listened to this song to get pumped up for stuff when they were in high school? This is always what we would do back in the day. This is one of the gems of modern culture, modern Western culture is Eye of the Tiger. Famously, what movie was this in? Rocky III with Mr. T, right? Rocky III with Mr. T. Do you know what it was written for? It was actually written for Karate Kid. And they decided not to use it for Karate Kid and use it for Rocky. Crazy to think of Eye of the Tiger and Karate Kid. Okay, I'm dating myself, but that's okay. So this is used to get ready for battle in our culture, to get ready for battle. And so what I want to do is go through this a little bit today. We're going to be looking at a psalm that it was used actually to get ready for battle in ancient Israel. And what we're going to do today in this message is we're going to have a bit of a comparison message. We're going to compare Eye of the Tiger and its deep theological and moral, philosophical insights with the wisdom of the Bible, and we're going to see which one is going to help you get ready for battle better. All right? So let's look at Eye of the Tiger for a minute. Many of you will know these words. This is the beginning of it, right? Many times it happens too fast. You change your passion for glory. Don't lose your grip on the dreams of the past. You must fight just to keep them alive. So you had a passion before, you were excited about something for no particular reason. You just happen to be passionate about it, and you've lost that. But now you got to get it back. You got to get your fight back. That's what Eye of the Tiger is about. This is the chorus. It's the eye of the tiger. And the whole vision of the song is, right, if you look in a tiger's eye, it's got that fire in it, right? My dad used to say this to me when we were lifting weights in the gym. You got to have the fire. Where's the fire? You got to have that look in your eye. It's the thrill of the fight. You're fighting just because you love fighting. Rising up to the challenge of our rival. And the last known survivor, this is probably the line that's the most fun in the whole song. The last known survivor stalks his prey in the night. Okay, all right. It also says a few other things, face to face, out in the heat, staying hungry in this line, and the odds are all against you. You got to have skills, right? So fight for the kill with the skill to survive. You got to survive by your own abilities and skills. And what's in this one? Oh, just a man and his will to survive. You're completely on your own. Okay, so breaking down this song. If we were going to say, so 2 questions and this song's answer to those 2 questions. How do you become a great fighter and win the battle according to Survivor, according to Rocky III? You do it by being hungry to win, by having guts, by having skills, by never surrendering. And what pitfalls do you need to avoid in order to win the battle? So what do you need to make sure you don't get stuck in? You need to make sure you don't get stuck resting in your former glory. So you did something cool and you're just going to be okay with that. You always got to be hungry for more. You got to stay hungry and raw, and this is especially important, single-minded devotion to winning. Okay, that's what this song recommends. Okay, so see if you can hold all of that in your head. And then we're going to go, in a minute, we're going to go into Psalm 27, and we're going to break down its answers to this same questions. Okay, Psalm 27. So we're in a series right now, of course, called God's Playlist for the Road. We're thinking of the Psalms, P-S-A-L-M-S, this super weird word, but this was the worship music. This was the playlist for ancient Israel. They sang these songs to teach themselves, remind themselves about God, to encourage each other, and in one particular case especially, to get ready for battle. We're going to see that today. And we're going through a number of songs that are sort of like the highlights. And what we're doing in this series is encouraging you to take at least one of these with you. I'd be interested to know from many of you, are these psalms that you already have with you? So some of these are ones that I really haven't had with me yet, like Psalm 139 that we did a few weeks ago. It's not new to me. I've read it many times, but it's not one that I've had on repeat in my brain. And that's one that I am adding to my life this summer in a deep way. But of course, some of these psalms are ones that I've had with me for a long time, and that'll be the case today and next week. Today we'll be looking at Psalm 27. And I have probably recited this psalm to myself at least 3 times a week for 20 years, close to 20 years. So it's a psalm that's not, you don't get credit for that. It's not so great if you recite it more, but it's just like if you have a playlist, right? Your go-to music, the stuff that you play all the time to remind yourself who you are, to encourage yourself, to build yourself up. That's what these are supposed to be for us. So we're encouraging you to take one of them, choose one that we've gone through this summer, and add it to your playlist by maybe memorizing it, going through it a bunch of times, okay? So today, we are on Psalm 27, and the title is Get Ready for Battle. Okay, and this does not mean like violence, like physical war. Hopefully none of us are going to have to go through a physical war in our lifetimes. Please, God, have mercy. But this is about the spiritual battle that all of us are in every day. And for the ancient Israelites, they often had to get ready. So many of these psalms are written by one person in particular. Who was that person who wrote more of the psalms than anyone else? Yeah, King David. And if you know the stories about David in the Old Testament, how often did he have to get ready for battle? Physical battle. Yeah, like all the time, especially in his younger years when he was writing many of these psalms. He often had to get ready for battle, often with very little notice and with the odds stacked against him. Just like we saw in Eye of the Tiger, right? He's going to have to fight against incredible odds. Sometimes he was the only one left standing. It's crazy. I have recited Psalm 27 for 20 years. I've had it in my mind. And as I got ready for this message this week, I read some commentaries on it. Maybe I'd never read commentaries on Psalm 27 before. I've used it myself to get ready for big moments, big things that were coming that felt like a battle, that I was scared of. But I never realized that this psalm was actually written for David and his fellow warriors to use it to get ready for battle. Once I read that, it became obvious because you'll see in the psalm, it's obvious, the things they talk about. They used this psalm, they sang it. It was a battle song. They sang it to get ready for battle. But then, of course, it was given to the whole nation to use in the everyday battle of life. All right, so let's break down now in comparison to Eye of the Tiger. Let's break down Psalm 27. The first section, we're going to entitle this, You Cannot Win. The Lord is the one who wins. How different is that from Eye of the Tiger? So the question, how do you become a great fighter and win the battle? Psalm 27's answer is going to be that you can't. You actually cannot do this. And you imagine David is actually preparing for physical war. And the things that he and his friends are saying to each other, he and his fellow soldiers are saying to each other is this: we cannot win. We cannot possibly win this battle. Only the Lord can win. Eye of the Tiger is saying, it's all me. I'm the one with the skill and the hunger and the drive and the fight. I can do it. Psalm 27, I can't do it at all. Only the Lord. Let's read the first few verses of the psalm here. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the stronghold of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? So think about each line, each image for a moment. The Lord is light. He's the one that's going to show the way. He's the one that's going to drive out the darkness. The Lord is salvation. He's the one who saves me from things that are trying to kill me and destroy me. He's the one who saves me. This is two powerful statements repeated. The Lord is the stronghold of my life. What is a stronghold? We're literally talking here. The word means a fortress, a place where you're going in the middle of a battle to be protected from the enemy who's trying to kill you. The Lord is the one who protects you. You take refuge not in yourself, not in your physical fortress, not in your weapons, not in your armor, not in your skills, not in your money, not in any of the other things that you might have. You take refuge in the Lord. And so, I'm not going to be afraid of anyone. You can see they are using this psalm at moments when they are feeling what? What might David and his friends have been feeling when they decided to sing this song, or when David wrote this? Fear. Because they're about to go into battle. Just like you felt maybe, for me it was getting ready for track meets in high school. Super nervous. So nervous sometimes that I actually threw up a little bit. Gross, I know. But you felt that nervous before about things in your life. You are about to go into a battle when you're feeling that way. Psalm 27 was written for that moment. Whom shall I fear? When the wicked advance against me to devour me, or I like the older translation, when evil men advance against me to devour my flesh, when my enemies and my foes attack me, they will stumble and fall. Though an army besiege me, my heart will not fear. Though war break out against me, even then will I be confident. I once had someone come up to me, a young man, and he was dealing with insecurity and fears and anxiety in his life, and I read Psalm 27 with him. And he said to me, how can David not be afraid when he's surrounded by an enemy army? But it's not that David's not afraid. It's that this is him declaring he will not fear. In that moment when he feels afraid, when he has all these natural anxieties and tendencies toward fear, he's declaring that because of the Lord, because of God, he will not fear. He will be confident even if war breaks out, even if he is surrounded by his enemies. So even when it looks like everything is lost, he is going to choose. It's a choice. This is faith. He's going to choose confidence in God. A few things we could say about these first three verses. And again, comparing this to Eye of the Tiger, right? Where it's all me, it's my hunger, it's my guts, it's my skill that's going to win the fight. What's being said here, the Lord is the one who protects you. It's not you. The Lord is the one who fights for you. It's not you who fights the fight at all. You cannot win. When my enemies attack, the Lord wins. We started off saying the overall theme of these first few verses is the Lord wins the battle. When my enemies attack me, the Lord still wins. But what if they're attacking me? The Lord still wins. What happens when war breaks out against me? The Lord still wins. He always wins. What happens when I'm surrounded? When it looks like all is completely lost? That's when I have a choice to believe. Because even in that situation, the Lord still wins. Do you believe that that's true? Or the better question, will you choose to believe that that's true in the moment of fear? The second thing that the beginning of this psalm tells us about how do we become a great fighter and win the battle. Remember, our culture, the very pinnacle of our culture, Eye of the Tiger. I'm going to say that's the pinnacle of Western culture. It says that you become a great fighter by guts and hunger and your own skill. We've said that Psalm 27 is saying you become a great fighter by trusting that the Lord's going to win the battle, and what you are going to do is you are going to have single-minded devotion to the Lord. Remember, another thing we said about Eye of the Tiger is that it's recommending single-minded devotion to what? Winning. I got to win at all costs. I've got to make, Eye of the Tiger, the theory there is that I've got to make winning the most important thing. Whoever wants it most is going to get it. Whoever wants to win most is going to win. Psalm 27 is saying that part of our culture that believes Eye of the Tiger is wrong about reality. It's not whoever wants to win most who wins in the end. It's whoever has single-minded devotion, not to winning, but to the Lord. And watch how the rest of this psalm goes, this second section. This is a battle song. Okay, these guys are getting ready for war. You would think they'd be like yelling swear words at each other, right? Like, come on, bro, hit me. Or, getting themselves pumped up in some, I don't know, football kind of way. Not that football's bad. But look at what they do. This is how David and his mighty warriors, the best fighters in Israel, got themselves ready for battle. One thing I ask from the Lord. This is the only thing I seek. I'm not even seeking to win the battle. That's not even what I'm trying to do. Here's what I want. I only ask one thing from God, even if I die today, that I may dwell in the house of the Lord all the days of my life, to gaze upon the beauty of the Lord and to seek him in his temple. Because if I have that one thing, and this is what Jesus says to us over and over, right? We just, Pastor Dale helped us last week look at this. If we seek first the kingdom of God, what happens with everything else? It's simply given to us. It comes along with it. If I have this one thing, if God grants me that I'm going to be with him and that I'm going to see him and see his beauty, then in the day of trouble, he will keep me safe in his dwelling. He will hide me in the shelter of his sacred tent and set me high upon a rock. My head will be exalted above the enemies who surround me. At his sacred tent, I will sacrifice with shouts of joy. I will sing and make music to the Lord. It's not even, here's these guys getting pumped for battle in ancient Israel. And the way that they're getting themselves pumped up for battle is not even by thinking about the battle. They're thinking about the one who's already won the battle. Even if I die today, that doesn't really matter. What matters is, God, just let me be with you. Let me see you face to face. The whole theme of that Momentum conference was to know and be known by God, to connect truly with the God who made us. That's what it's really about. That's possible because of what Jesus has done for us. Lord, have mercy. What pitfalls to avoid? So the pitfalls to avoid in Eye of the Tiger were just only thinking about how good I did in the past and not trying hard enough in the future. Okay, well, I mean, I guess Eye of the Tiger actually has a point there. I guess that's kind of a good thing. Don't just rest on your laurels from the past. But that's not going to get you there. We also said the pitfall to avoid in Eye of the Tiger was single-minded devotion to winning. We just seen how that's foolishness. What pitfalls does Psalm 27 teach us to avoid? Thinking you're so great and trying to win on your own. That's the pitfall. That's what can actually stop you from winning, is exactly what Eye of the Tiger is telling you to do. Exactly what it's telling you to do. Believe you're the best no matter what. And then outdo everybody because you got the guts and the skills and the glory. Yes, you're a man. And Psalm 27 says that's exactly how you lose. That's, in fact, the main pitfall that you need to avoid. Stop thinking you're so great. Look at how we're taught to do this. Seek God face to face. Admit your sin and failure. We're about to read through it in just a second. And ask for mercy. Seek God face to face. Admit. So here's these big, tough warriors in ancient Israel. And their leader David saying, here's how we win against overwhelming odds. We got to get really vulnerable with God first. What? We got to actually get face to face with the Lord who made us and admit that we are not good enough to win this battle, admit what we've done wrong, and beg him for mercy. And he's so full of mercy, he's going to show up. He's going to win the battle for us. He's going to actually show us that he's closer than a father and a mother. I have a whole bunch of fill in the blanks this week. If you guys are trying to keep up, good luck. I just blew through all of them. Here's the end of the psalm, the second half. We're going to read through all 7 verses. Hear my voice when I call, Lord. Be merciful to me and answer me. My heart says of you, seek his face. Your face, Lord, I will seek. What does it mean to be face to face with the Lord? It means deep, intimate connection. It means you're going to allow God to know who you really are. Does he already know? Yes, but now you're going to allow him to know as well. You're going to say, I'm willing. Here, show me who I really am in my depths. And I admit that before you. Because I want to know you. Just like if you want to know another human being, you got to get real with them, don't you? If you want to have a deeper relationship with somebody, you got to share deeper things. Is it a risk? Absolutely, it's a risk. With God, is it a risk? Well, it feels like a risk, but the truth is that he is 100%, or maybe as some of those Momentum youth would say, 1,000% reliable, trustworthy, full of mercy. There's no chance he's going to reject us. We'll see that in a moment. Your face I will seek. Do not hide your face from me. Do not turn your servant away in anger. You have been my helper. Do not reject me or forsake me, God my Savior. Though my father and mother forsake me, the Lord will receive me. Here's what you're going to find if you do this. If you go deep with God, if you get vulnerable with the Lord who made you, what you're going to find is that he will never forsake you. He will never reject you. This is why he sent his son Jesus into the world, to die for us, to come back to life from the dead. He loved us that much that he made a way so that no matter what is in there when we really open up to him, no matter what, he will not reject. If we come to him and ask for mercy, he will forgive us. Even if we did something so bad that we are convinced our own mom and dad would disown us, the Lord will receive us. Teach me your way, Lord. You can see why he wants this at this point. No longer is it, I'm going to obey the Bible because I feel like I have to. He has seen the beauty of God, and now the cry of his heart is, Lord, teach me how to be like you. Teach me how to live your way. Lead me in a straight path because of my oppressors. Do not turn me over to the desire of my foes, for false witnesses rise up against me, spouting malicious accusations. Now, some of you might say, I don't have a bunch of enemies around me attacking me all the time. Some of you will say, yes, I do. But some of you will say, no, I don't. Oh, but you have all kinds of enemies around you attacking you all the time. Lies that crop up in your own mind. Lies that come from a spiritual enemy. Lies that come from our culture. Lies that come from your own insecurities, your own pride, your own faults. These things crop up in your mind all the time, spouting malicious accusations. You know it's true. Don't turn me over to the desire of my foes, Lord. And then, as the psalm comes to an end, as they get ready to actually march out into the battle, here's the thing that they're going to go in with this resolution in their minds. I am still confident of this. I will see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. So many times, my friends, this has helped me when it seemed like nothing else could help me. To take the situation that I'm in and stand on this psalm and say, with David, with the Lord, with God, I will remain confident of this. I will see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. For these men marching into battle, you can see what they're saying. Even if I die, even if I run into that battle and I'm immediately killed by an enemy soldier, I am still confident that I will see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. Even if our army is overrun and it looks like everything is lost, I will remain confident. I will see the goodness of the Lord, not in the grave, in the land of the living. Wait for the Lord. And look how it's paired with this. Be strong, take heart, and wait for the Lord. In Eye of the Tiger, the idea is go, 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 do it now. Fight with all your own strength. Strength is in Eye of the Tiger is opposed to patience. But here we see that that's exactly wrong. Strength is waiting for the Lord. Strength is trusting His timing, His goodness, even when things don't go the way that I might want them to. Wait for the Lord. That's what it means to be strong. Take heart and wait for the Lord. This is a powerful word to us today. And I hope that you will consider taking this psalm with you when you go into battle. As we all get ready this week, most of us, I hope all of you will join us with summer fun at the park and all the things that we're doing. Even if you can't show up in person, you can still join in this battle. You can join in this battle by praying with us every day that God will do amazing things, that He will bring people closer to Him, out of darkness and into light. If we all pray together and we believe that He will answer, He will answer. Things will happen that would not have happened. So even if you can't come to summer fun at the park this week, join with us in prayer and help win this battle God's way. I hope that you will take this psalm and use it this week and in your life. Let's pray, and we'll continue in worship.